Hey Math 8, it is Mr. Mock with your Module 9 notes. We're starting the Pythagorean Theorem. This is, I don't know, my favorite theorem, I guess. Can we say that? And let's just get into it. What is it? How is it used? Pythagorean Theorem is used for right triangles only. Used with right triangles only. This, if we were together in class, I would make a joke about no wrong triangles. Haha. But I'm not going to do that now because it's just not as funny. We only use right triangles. Right triangles, we need to see in 90 degrees, okay? So we have to have 90 degrees. All right? And then what's really cool about this theorem is when you have a right triangle, and I'm just going to sketch one out real quick. Just like this. Okay, we have a 90-degree angle. All right, and I'm just for the sake of it, I'm just going to call this is side A, side B, and side C. All right, and what happened many years ago is in ancient Greece there was a person named Pythagoras, and Pythagoras was a thinker. That's what Pythagoras did. And he got a group of people together that were also thinkers, and they did some really cool things with music and looking at mathematics. And in the process of doing that, because they didn't have electronics to entertain them like we do, they just explored things and asked questions and tried to answer them. And one of the things that they discovered is if you take a right triangle like the one I drew, and everybody drew their own right triangle, they started to recognize that there was something that was always true. And this is phenomenal, okay? So this works with every right triangle. It always works. It's if you take this side, A, and you square it, and then you take this side, B, and add it to side A squared. So you square B and square A and add them together. So A squared plus B squared. It is always, every single time, going to equal the hypotenuse squared. So this right here is the Pythagorean theorem, and it works every time with every right triangle. And that's what's remarkable about it. It's always true. So A is one side. It's connected to the right angle. B is the other side that's connected to the right angle. And C always has to be the hypotenuse, okay? And that's this side here. That's the side opposite the 90-degree angle. It's the longest side of a right triangle, okay? So C always, I don't know how to spell always the hypotenuse, it's a fun word, or the side opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay? That's always true. It has to be, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay? So the Pythagorean theorem always has to have the hypotenuse at this point in the theorem. Okay? So it's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now, let's do a couple examples. All right, so first example. I have my right triangle. I have a length of 7 on one side, a length of 11 on the other side, and then I want to find this side here. Now, when I compare, that's going to be the C. All right, that's the hypotenuse. It's the side opposite the 90-degree angle. We can call this side A and that side B. So underneath, I'm just going to say A is 7, B is 11, and C is X, okay? So now to the side, I always write, and this is the work that I want to see on your paper when you submit it in classroom by Thursday next week. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You always start by writing the formula. A is 7, so remember, when you replace a variable with a number, you always put it in parentheses. A squared plus B, replacing the B with 11, so I use parentheses squared, equals, now, I could keep it C squared. You can if you'd like, or you could put it as X squared. Whatever works for you, okay? So now, we have to square 7. It's 49. square 11, that's 121, equals x squared, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna use a calculator. 49 plus the 121, now I've got 170 equals x squared. So now I need to be able to do this, okay? And in order to do this, I have to use what's called the square root sign, okay? So the next step is you're going to do the square root of x squared. The square root of x squared is x, okay? Because the square root is simply saying what times what gives you x squared, and that's x, okay? Now here, the square root of 170, is there a number times itself that gives us 170? No, there's nothing. So honestly, you can leave your answer like that. X is simply the square root of 170. If Khan Academy asks you to put it into decimal form, you would, hit the square root button on your device, your calculator, whatever you're using, and you would get x is approximately 13. All right, and if it asks you to round to the nearest tenths place, that would actually be 13.0. Okay, it's approximately 13. All right. Another example. I've drawn out a second right triangle for you, okay? And if I'm, again, comparing from up top to here, here's my right angle, right? So this is the hypotenuse, okay? This is my C. C is 15. Do I have an A? I can call A 12. Well, Mr. Rock, isn't that B? Doesn't matter, actually. Because remember, you're just going to square it and add it. So it doesn't quite matter. You could call that B if you want, and this is A. If you go ahead and do that and you can follow the steps along, you'll get the same answer as I do, all right? So then we can say B is X. So now we write out, because this is the work I want to see. I want to see you write the formula out. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Always works every time, so long as you're putting in the right numbers. A, we're going to say, is 12. I'm replacing the A with 12, so I'm using parentheses. Plus B, I don't have a B, so I'll just make that x squared, equals C squared. That's going to be 15 squared, okay? So now, 12 squared, we know is 144, plus x squared equals 15 squared is 225. Now, we have to solve this equation. So we need to actually do a balancing step. I want x squared to be by itself on this side, which means I need this 144 to go away. So my balancing step is going to be to subtract 144 on both sides. Okay? So that's going to leave me with x squared equals, and then 225 minus 144 equals 81. How exciting. Okay? And then we have to do the square root. Square root. And now x is going to equal, we can do the square root of 81. What number times itself gives you 81? Well, 9 times 9 is 81. So then x equals 9 for this problem. So this one actually doesn't have a square root answer like this one. It is just 9. Okay, team. Those 2 examples. There's 7 problems this week on the assignment on Khan Academy. I do want you to show your work and send it to me. That's really where I'm going to see if you get it or not. I look at Khan Academy, but not for the percentage that they give you. I look at, did you on your second attempt to get the answer correct? Then I look at your work to see maybe where the mistake happened so that I can really see what you know. So don't worry about those percentages in Khan Academy. Send me your work so I can see that. Okay, team. I hope you're doing well. Miss you tons. Talk soon. Bye.